So here we'll go record that. So let's talk about what sustainability is. It's really honestly the exact things that you guys were talking about just a second ago. So sustainability really for us as scouts, I think it kind of plays into what we always talk about. You know, we've got a set amount of things, and we've got to make sure that we're being careful with them, which is exactly what Thrifty is. You know, so we want to just make sure that we're keeping the Scout Law and the Scout Oath. You know, whenever we go camping, we want to make sure that, you know, we leave that campsite better than we found it. And so really it kind of all goes down to, you know, being a good scout in the wider world. And that's kind of what we're looking at talking about, you know, managing what we've got. So I want to talk to you guys about an example of sustainability. So have any of you guys ever heard of the Summit? It's a camp. No? Okay. So there is actually a national camp, just like we've got, there's one called Philmont up here in the north of the state, pretty cool place. But there's a new one out in newish, like in the last 10 years. They built one out in West Virginia. Very cool place. The cool thing is it used to be a mine, like a quarry, like where they got rocks out of. And they decided to turn it into an awesome camp. And one of their goals when they were making it is that they're like, all right, so, you know, we're making a camp. We've made lots of camps. We're going to make this one sustainable. And so what they did is they put together all sorts of really cool things and to try to make it a little bit more sustainable. I should have grabbed some pictures for you guys because it is super cool. One of the things that they did is, in fact, I'll pull a picture here. So the first building they built looked like this. I don't know if you guys, it's even focusing, and it's backwards. So, oh no, it's not backwards. Okay, but you can't read it very well. So what they did is they tried to do as many different sustainable things as they possibly could. So first thing was water. And we're going to talk about water today. In fact, I know you guys are very interested and very curious about this. We're going to talk about what happens to poop after you flush it on the toilet. Very, very smart, sophisticated things. But anyway, so what they do with water is they actually have local sources they pull it from. So they've got like a local, I think it's a well that they pull it from, just some groundwater, and they treat it on site. And then after the wastewater's done, they put it back, they purify it, they put it back into the ground. You know, then they've also got solar panels. They've got you know, they built the building so that they don't waste energy. They've got, they try not to waste stuff. They've got some really cool programs in place. They've got like water bottle fillers so that, you know, people don't use as many water bottles, so they don't throw away all that stuff, because plastic is cool, but it's also not so cool some days, especially for nature. What are the things I'm missing? So anyway, I don't know. It's pretty cool. Very cool place. So that's pretty much what sustainability is about. And let's see, I want to make sure I didn't forget anything because this is really cool. I just want to make sure I turn my notes. Okay. Oh, okay. So there's a couple of other things that they do is they also have geothermal wells. So geothermal is really cool. We're going to talk about geothermal. I like geothermal. So basically what it is sometimes underground there's some heat. And so what you can do is you can tap into that heat, you can kind of grab that heat, and you can use it to heat buildings. You can use it to turn it into energy. So it's super cool, super cool. So that's the kind of thing they do. They have everything close together as well, so you don't have to drive around as much. Yeah, so there's a lot of things I can talk about with sustainability. You guys kind of are, I'm sure, aware of a lot of them. You know, right now the trick is we've got a lot of resources in the world, but we are experiencing what's called ecological overshoot, which means that we are consuming things faster than the earth reproduces them. So that's something we need to work on. It's just been one of those things that gradually has been moving up and up over time. And so as scouts, you know, we got to do our best to, you know, be wise with what we got. Okay, so, all right. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna try out a new experiment. So I've got a video for you guys to watch of me, which is basically like what you're doing now, except for I'm gonna move around to different places because my webcam don't move around to many places. So we're gonna try this out. So I'm gonna start playing it. If you guys can't hear anything, put it into the chat or say something. working out some technical difficulties. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of time on this one. And if I start getting bored, I'm going to pause it and we'll just start talking instead. So, okay. Here we go. And I apologize that I'm going to be showing you guys my editing program rather than.
Well, first off on our stop here is going to be water conservation. That's going to be a lot of things that you're doing in your home, and there's a lot of water that you didn't realize is going to different places. So what we're going to do is we're going to spend some time talking about that right here in this video. So one of the cool things is here in the United States we have some of the most clean water, the most safe water in the entire world. But the downside is we have a growing population in the world, and less than 1% of the water that we have is usable. The rest are, tied up in glaciers or oceans or other things like that. They can be made to be drinkable and usable, but it's going to take a lot of work, which we're going to end up talking about a lot as we go through here. So let's move on. We've talked about conservation. We've talked about why conservation is awesome. The trick is now, how do we do it? Well, let me talk to you about some tips on how you can do that in your life. The first thing is full dishwashers. You're going to want to make sure that your dishwashers are always as full as they can possibly be. Half loads are going to end up wasting a lot of water. The crazy thing is, efficient dishwashers use about 4 gallons a wash, and non-efficient ones use 6 to 8 a wash. So that's a lot of money, a lot of water, a lot of money that you're throwing down the drain. So something to think about. Also, if you wash your dishes by hand and you let the water run, you can use up to 16 gallons. 16 gallons, that's a ton. So what you want to do is you want to don't let the water run. If you can, use 1/2 of the sink to fill it up with soapy water, and then the other half to fill up with rinse water. That way you're not using as much water. Another thing you can do is wait until you have full loads of dishwashers and laundry. And that can save you up to 1,000 gallons of water a year. 1,000 gallons, holy crap. Also, if you have a garbage disposal, use it sparingly. It uses power, it uses water. You can also try composting some of those things so that you don't end up using as much power and water. Turn off the water when you're brushing your teeth. A lot of the times what I know I do sometimes is I'll, put my toothbrush under the water, and then I'm gonna, just leave it on the entire time while I'm brushing. The crazy thing is, when you do that, you can use 8 gallons of water a day. 8 gallons just by brushing your teeth. That's 200 gallons of water in a month. That's a ton. So just turn off the water while you're brushing your teeth, and then turn it back on to rinse out your mouth. It's super easy. Showers. Taking showers over baths is actually another cool way that you can help save water. Baths take about 70 gallons of water to do, but showers only take about 25. Also, if you're going to shower, it can help if you also shower under 5 minutes. It's going to save your water consumption a ton. Small leaks can also lead to a lot of water wasted. If you have a small leak in your toilet, it can waste up to 200 gallons a day. It's crazy. One of the ways you can test that is you can get a little bit of food coloring with your parents' permission, put it in the tank of the toilet, and then if it starts seeping down into the bowl itself, you might have yourself a leak that you want to get fixed. This is also a place that we can conserve water. Yes, indeed, outside, especially out here in New Mexico. Sometimes the air gets real hot and things tend to evaporate. So we need to be very careful with the water that we are using. So one of the things that you can do is, I don't know why I'm using this kind of hand marks, but we're going to do it. One of the things you can do is you want to make sure that you're using your hose sparingly, and make sure your hose and your sprinklers are pointing at the right stuff. Because if your sprinklers are just watering this concrete, it doesn't do any good. It's not going to make them grow or anything. So make sure that they are in the right spot. Make sure you don't have any leaks, that you don't realize, if your faucet is leaking, there's a lot of water out there just to that. If you have any plants outside, one of the ways you can help keep moisture around them is you can put a little bit of mulch on them every year, and that kind of helps keep the moisture in. Remember, you don't need to overwater things. You need to make sure that you've got enough water so that about 2 inches down, they are about as they're wet 2 inches down, 2 to 3 inches down, even with xeriscaping. Xeriscaping is a really cool way that some people use to conserve water. It means they don't have to water their lawn so much. They just really need to water their plants about once a month, but that's still about 2 to 3 inches down, so they just need to make sure you do that. Another cool way is also with your lawn. If you're going to be doing your lawn, make sure that your lawn is not too short. If you're mowing your lawn as short as it can possibly be, it's not healthy for the lawn. So make sure that you've got it up as far up as you can, and that way the grass can hold onto the moisture a little bit better. Hopefully that helped you. Let's move back inside.
Conservation, we've talked about why conservation is awesome. The trick is now, how do we do it?
All right, fine. The video is dumb and it doesn't like any life. So that's all right. I've got things I can talk about instead. I made the video, so I know exactly what it says. Mostly just means that you guys won't get to see me washing dishes. So, you know, there's that. All right, so here we go. We're going to talk about water conservation first because water is pretty cool. Big project on this one. So on almost every, like we've got like a couple different projects we've got to do on each individual thing. The first project we're going to do relates to water. So the water, we're going to have water conservation. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can conserve water just around your house. You know, there is, man, sorry guys, I was like thinking to myself, I don't have to remember this because I made a video and the video didn't work. Okay, let me move back here. So cool thing is we live in the United States, as you guys may know. If this is a surprise to you, I'm very sorry. I'm actually not sorry because America's awesome. So welcome to America if you didn't know you were here. Here's the deal. So as you guys may know, you can't drink the ocean. It's gross. Also, it is not. It's not good for you. It's got too much salinity, too much salt in it, and so most of the water is not drinkable or able to like water plants or anything like that. And so it's just kind of chilling there in the ocean or in glaciers. And the crazy thing is, less than 1% of all of the water on the Earth is usable. It's crazy. And also right now, you know, due to a lot of stuff in the climate, we've got a lot of droughts going on. More often, we've got a lot of fires going on. And so what we've got to do is we've got to make sure that we are being very wise in the way we use water. And so let me talk to you guys a little bit about this. So this is going to be one of our projects. One of our projects is, let me look at this for how much time this is. So we are going to be having you guys work with your family. So what you want to do is you want to gather up the some bills. I know it's weird. Gather up some bills from your water in usage. Sorry, let me pull this up again. Okay, so you need to examine your family's water bills for the past 3 months. So it could be way in the past, it could be current. And then what you want to do is, as a family, you choose 3 ways that you guys can reduce water consumption. And then after that, after you made the plan, you do it for a month. And then after that, you talk to me about what you learned, okay? So everybody understand that? Does that sound weird to anybody? Give me a nod, thumbs up. You guys with me? Okay. So, all right. So remember, that's one of the projects you got to do. I'll email you after we're done on all the things you got to do to get this merit badge. Like I said, it's not really like a sprint. It's more like a marathon. So you just do little things here and there, and you get this done. Man, they're still freezing here. That stinks. Okay. All right. That's weird. All right. So let's talk about how you're going to save the water. So what you got to do is, if you want to make a list of this, that's great. If you want to watch it later, that's great too. There is a bunch of different ways that you can save water in your very own home. Indoors, what you want to do is make sure that you're not letting the water run, just because there is, okay. You guys can't hear me very well? No hearing well. Okay.
I can hear you.
Ryder can hear me? Okay. Anybody else having a problem?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Just want to double check. Okay. Okay. So a couple different ways that you guys can save water in your own homes. Don't let the water run, especially when you are, doing hand washing or toothbrushing. What you can do is, when you're brushing your teeth, you got your toothpaste on your brush here, and, you put on your toothpaste. Sometimes you put it into the water so it gets a little bit wet. So instead of just having it run the whole time, you can just turn it off, and blammo, you just saved a ton of water. Also, running dishwashers with make sure you, when you're running laundry or dishwashers, make sure you got a full load. That way you're getting the most bang for your buck. Generally, actually, in the video, I want to actually throw out some stats. So sorry about this. I hate going to the book while I'm talking to you guys, but there's some really cool stuff. So you can save up to 1,000 gallons of water a month by just doing that. So, because I know sometimes myself, I was like, okay, I just need this shirt today, or I just need this one cup, and then I run the dishwasher. And then if your entire family's doing that, it's going to be problematic. It's going to waste a lot of water. So that's one of the ways that you guys can save water for this merit badge. Like saying, just pick 3 things and just kind of go with it. There's not only indoor thing. Oh, I forgot. There's also disposals. If some of you guys' sinks have disposals, they'll get rid of all the stuff. It's it kind of churns it all up. It makes it real small so it can go down the sink. So it can go down the sink without clogging stuff up. So try to use that a little bit more sparingly, because that actually, when you use it, you actually have to have the water on. You have to have it on for a little while to make sure that everything stays wet and good. So try to be sparing with that. Definitely make sure you use it so you don't plug stuff up. But yeah. Okay. So here we go. So when you're brushing your teeth, actually, I already talked about you brushing your teeth. Okay, so another thing that you guys can do is, I don't know if you guys are bath people, but if you guys are shower people, you guys are already saving a ton of water. So generally baths, a bath uses 70 gallons of water, which is crazy. And showers generally take about 25 gallons. Another way you can save water is just to try to make your showers just a little bit shorter. If everybody makes their shower just a little bit shorter, that can make a huge difference. And these are all going to show up, on the water bill that you guys are going to be looking at. So remember, check out the 3 months beforehand, and then you implement your plan for a month, and then you look at the water bills and just see how things have changed. So just need to come up with a couple ways with your families to do this. Any old ways can be more than what I've been talking about. We've also got some things outdoors, especially since, it's not as hot as it was, but it's still kind of hot. We're out here in New Mexico or Texas, and, things get hot. So what you want to do is make sure that you're using your hose sparingly. If you're watering your lawn, make sure you're just watering your lawn. It's always better to do it in evening hours as well, so it doesn't just evaporate, so you're not wasting as much. But, if you're watering the concrete, it's not going to grow or anything, so you're just wasting the water. So just make sure you're just watering just the grass. Another thing you can do with that is, when you're mowing the grass, try to keep it a little bit higher. It looks, real nice when it's real short, but if you keep it just a little bit longer, I'm not saying go full jungle, but if you keep it a little bit longer, it holds the moisture a little bit better, and you have to water it less. So very cool stuff. There are a lot of people here in, just this region that like to do something called xeriscaping. It means they don't have a normal lawn. you know, it means that they don't have to worry about that stuff. It's actually a really cool way of conserving water and not having to worry about watering the lawn. It's just, you know, you have like gravel or you have some kind of cool landscaping out there that takes its place. And a lot of times they have, you know, native plants out here that are used to not getting water, which is pretty cool. You know, you can also like collect rainwater in buckets. Some people do that. You got to make sure you're purifying it before you use it, but you can also use it to like water grass as well. Okay, so anybody have any questions, comments, anything? Oh, hey, we got 2 more people. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I wasn't looking at this screen. Stephen, Sylvia, it is good to see you. We're glad to have you. So the stuff that we already talked about, I told these guys is that we've got the meeting recorded, and I'm going to be putting this up online later so you can watch all the stuff you missed. Don't worry, I'm going to be blanking out all your faces, and so you don't have to worry about everybody, you know, asking you for your autograph because you're on a video online. So we're glad to have you. This is a good merit badge. I like it. But we do a lot of talking. Mostly when I say we, I mean me. So I'm trying to make it as short as I can. And so I'm just trying to plow through all this stuff. Okay. We are at a point where I know that I need to stand up for a bit. So, hey, if you guys want to, you guys can join me in a couple stretches just to, you know, kind of work out the kinks here. Oh, wow. I just kicked over something. So, yep, little stretches, you know, it's always good standing up. Woo, you know, do the arm thingy, do the other arm thingy. Oof. Sometimes I like to pretend like I can do a karate kick. Another one. Okay. Hopefully that helped you. If nothing else, you got to see me look like an idiot. So that's always fun. Okay. So that is your first assignment, is to go home. Well, you are home. You're all probably home. But remember, you need to go look at the water bills for the last 3 months. And then you need to get together with your family and make a plan of 3 ways that you can conserve water in your home or in your yard. And then you do it for 1 month. Look at the bill. And then we could talk together, and you guys can tell me what you learned, and that's how you pass off the requirements. So it's going to take a couple months. We're not going to have a normal meeting for that. So what we're going to have you do is in 3 months, I'll give you guys my email. You guys can just shoot me an email saying, hey, bam, this is what we learned. This is what happened. If you guys want to do a Zoom chat, also cool. So yeah. Oh man, did we just lose somebody? Ah! Nikolai's gone. Well, farewell, Nikolai, if you had to leave. We'll miss you. Okay. Oh, okay, he's back. I was worried. Okay, so yeah, remember that's your second assignment, I guess, because the first one is just have a meeting with your family, talk about sustainability. Bam. There's a couple other things that you can do family meeting stuff about, and hopefully it shouldn't take too long. Okay, so here we go. Next up on the list, we are going to talk about something also very cool. We're going to talk about where wastewater treatment for water. I want to try the video again because it works much better. Maybe at least the audio would work. Dang, makes me grumpy. Okay, we're gonna try playing this video one more time. We'll see if it works. If it don't, we'll make do over here. I'll just grab a piece of paper and draw stuff. Okay, so we're gonna try the screen share thing one more time. Sure. Okay.
One way to picture how planetary systems support life on Earth and interact with each other is to think of an intensive care unit in a hospital, where many life support systems are in place to help critically ill people survive and get better. Earth also has these life support systems. In a sense, our planet could be considered one big intensive healthcare unit supporting all forms of life. There's a quote I like from the Encyclopedia of Life Support System. A life support system furthers the life of the biosphere in a sustainable fashion. The fundamental attribute of life support systems is that they together provide all of the sustainable needs required for the continuance of life. These needs go far beyond biological requirements. Thus, life support systems encompass natural environmental systems such as well as societal systems required to foster societal harmony, safety, nutrition, medical care, economic standards, and the development of new technology. The common thread in all of these systems is that they operate in partnership with conservation. This is the crucial challenge of our time. Many of our technological and societal institutions will need to be redesigned to lessen the environmental impact of our natural resources. To make this happen requires a positive attitude towards sustainable development. Instead of consuming all of the Earth's limited resources, people will need to learn how to consume far less and do more with what we've got. Scouts are well prepared to lead the effort. We're used to leaving no trace when we go camping. We are used to doing service, especially towards nature. We are used to being out in nature and knowing how much it means to us individually. So, as we all go out throughout this merit badge, let's all work to do our very best to conserve the planet that we've got and to make it the very best that we can.
Hey all you guys and gals out there, I'm here with my pal Winner right here. Today we're going to teach you a little something about water conservation, so you don't use all your water, have no more water. Sir, you want to get started?
Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's get started. Alright, well we each have our own pitcher here in a cup. So the pitcher is going to represent our total amount of water that we have, and then we have a cup just to measure about how much water each activity is going to use, about. So let's start off with a couple examples, right?
Okay.
All right. First one, something we all do every morning when we wake up, let's brush our teeth. Me, I usually wet my toothbrush and then turn off the sink so I don't just leave it running and let it go down the drain. So I'd say like a little bit of water, not a lot.
Oh no, me man, I just leave it running, like I want the water there for me when I need it. I always have to I'm turning off things. Yeah, I'm turning off things. I'm turning on things.
Yeah, I
mean, I ain't got time for that. So it's just water,
I guess
man.
so. Yeah, it's just all right. Yeah, I guess we can just throw that out. It's used. All right. That's the first example. Let's go on to the next. That one is, let's think of something I do personally. I'll wash dishes after I cook, because I'll cook a lot. I'll wash some dishes. So I usually plug up my sink, put a little soap in there, a little Dawn. Then I'll let it fill up with the nice water so it gets all clean. So I'll put a little sink full of water. So, and then that's all I really need, and depending how much dishes there. So.
Nah, man. See, I don't want the dirty water to be on my dishes, right? So I just let it run the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, just.
That's a way to do it. Then yeah. We can
it's dirty water. I mean, soap is there, but.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to, have too much dirty.
Clean water, clean dishes, right?
Sure. Yeah. Then let's go to a third example. That's a little, controversial. If you have a garden, I have a garden personally at my house.
Gardens are controversial.
Yeah. So I usually water my garden about 7 a.m. when it's not that hot, during the summer, because it gets pretty hot at certain places. So I'll wake up, maybe use a lot of water in the morning so they don't dry out during the day.
Who cares, man? So I'm out. I wake up. It's noon, we're all out of bed, and then it's time to sun myself, okay? So I'm just I'm out there, I'm in the sun, soaking up the rays. I haven't really started yet this summer, but soon. And so I just water it the whole time, like
sure?
noon to 4. I mean, it's hot, but I'm watering, right? That's the important part.
It seems like a little waste, but sure, I guess
it's just water.
If that's the way you do it, just get some water out there. Yeah. Then I'll do one more example for you guys, just if you get the hang of it. Say take a shower. We all do it. I take a shower every night. I'm a night shower, and I'll just do the one shower that'll get all the dirt off me from the day. So that's about a shower's worth.
Tell you what, guys. So you're sunning yourself all day, or you're tanning up, and it's just time. It's time to take a bath. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but normal baths are weak. So me personally, I just bathe all day. I just fill up my bath every hour on the hour. I need clean water touching my gosh dang body. It's just water. It's just water, Ben. Don't be a nerd.
Okay, fine. Well, it looks like you're out of water there.
What
Sure.
How can you be out of water? It just comes out of the faucet.
Well, I mean, I saved up mine. I conserved mine.
Can I have some of your water?
I need to conserve it. I'm sorry.
Let's see if I can grab some off the grass.
Well, I hope you guys good luck with that. Thank you for watching this one.
Oh, hey, I didn't notice you guys there. Sorry, just taking a little break here in the middle of class to do a little bit of dancing. I would recommend, if you guys get a little bit too cabin crazy, you guys should definitely get up and do some dancing. Or at least like stand up while you're doing this. Because I know this is a pretty content heavy class, and I wish we could do some stuff outside. Normally with this class, I like to do all sorts of things. And generally they involve bothering other classes that are going on. So we're gonna have some other fun things, just won't be the same. So when you need to get up, just stand up, don't worry about it. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna talk about some more water stuff. It's gonna be super fun. So we're gonna go real quick over water products and stuff that goes in water, and where it comes from, where it goes. So let's start off with where our water comes from. So we've got a whole bunch of different situations going on all around our council. So I'm just going to kind of talk in very general terms of what we've got going on around here. So one of the main ways that we get water from around here is from reservoirs. So basically what we do is we've got reservoirs, which basically what it is we've got some kind of a stream going on here, it's just doing its own thing, and we're like, you know what? We need this water here, dang it. So what we do is, especially if it's in a nice little canyon-y type thing, that's the canyon right here. Put a dam on it, bam. A little bit trickle out, but not very much. And then bam, we got ourselves a little mini lake, and we can use that for water. One of the big ways that we get out here is we also use groundwater a lot. So what groundwater is, basically, it's water that comes to the ground, obviously, I know. So what we do is, we're drilling down, we make wells a lot of times, and keep going on down and down and down and down until you get this underground bit of water we call an aquifer. We pump that out, and that's where we get a lot of water. A lot of that's going to be some of the stuff you're going to be getting out in the country. If you're getting it that way, it's going to go through a different purification process than you get in other places. So let's talk a little bit about the process of making it safe to drink. Because as you guys know, there's a lot of things out in the water. You probably shouldn't just be drinking it out on its own, because there's a high chance you're going to get some kind of microbe or something in your system that's not going to be healthy for you. You're not exactly sure what's happened to the water before you got there, so you're not exactly sure if it's safe to drink. Some things are going to be perfectly safe, but for instance, if you go find yourself a stream, you never know if some animal just pooped upstream from you and it just floated right down to you and you drink right out of that. You can get pretty sick from that. It's pure bacteria right there. So you want to make sure that you're very careful about it. At Scouts, we talk a lot of different ways to purify water, but make sure you're purifying your water. But luckily, wherever you're living, there are some very stringent rules on how to do that. Even if you guys are out in the country and you guys are, chilling on your own well or whatever it is, or if you're in the city, it's very highly regulated on how exactly that works. The EPA is always watching that kind of stuff, Environmental Protection Agency. And so they're making sure that everything is safe with that. There's also the, your city water people, they're always making sure that it's always safe. So they go through a lot of different processes for it. And I'm going to go over the purification technique in just a second. We'll just go over basically how it works for when you get the water and when you get rid of the water, because it's kind of similar. Not exactly similar, but that's kind of how it works. So you get the water into your house, you have water, it's super cool. You can go to the sink, you can get a drink of water whenever you want. It's pretty awesome. You don't have to go to no dang well and pull it on up.
unless you do, which is actually super cool, and you know, you get lots of cool street rep from the rest of us. But, you know, there's also, you know, you go to your house, you got shower, you got your washing machine, you got all sorts of things that have water on it. Things that we just talked about a minute ago that you can use for conservation, all sorts of cool stuff. So you got it in your house, and you're gonna end up using it. So it might be using it for the toilet, yeah, or it might be using it for something completely different. Sometimes you're going to be using it for, you know, flushing your toilet, or you're going to just be using it for washing your dishes, or you're going to be using it for, you know, watering your lawn. So there's a couple different things that happen once you are done with all of your stuff. It kind of is broken down into a couple different big categories. So the biggest one is going to be stormwater. So stormwater, you see the drains on the side of the roads. Stormwater is collected just a little bit differently, and it's used a little bit differently in different communities. Some communities will actually use that to water some of their other public works they've got. Like I know the high school I went to, they end up using a lot of the storm water and stuff like that they've held on to water the grass at like the high school and stuff like that. Not good to drink unless they put it through a purification process. It's called gray water. So gray water is just generally just dirty water that we've got, and so we've got a lot of gray water that comes from our house. And sometimes what your city's going to do is going to separate it, and they might use gray water for something specific, but a lot of times they're just going to lump it all together and throw it all in the same spot. Just depends. So, you know, if you're not using it for something else, here's kind of where it all goes. So, for this requirement, what I'm going to need you guys to do is, real quick, pull out a piece of paper. I'll wait just a second while you guys do that. Because you guys got to do this along with me. So I'll give you just a second. I might pause this video if you guys aren't ready. Okay. Hopefully you guys got your paper ready here. And we're going to do a drawing together. Just of how the water comes to our house and how it goes away from our house. So this might be different for different ones of you. If you know where your water comes from, that's great. If you don't, that's also great. You just pick one of the ones we're using here. So let me erase what I've done here already. All right, so we are gonna go and talk about my house. So Greg's house, I live here in Roswell, and so what we do in Roswell is we've got city water here, and so, okay, here we go. So we are getting our water, and it's coming in from, I believe, a reservoir. If I'm wrong on that, I'm so sorry. I wasn't able to find that information pretty easily. So we've got a couple of those around here. So it goes from the water, we'll put a little reservoir symbol there, and it's going to go from there to the purification plant. And I'm going to draw a purification plant. It's got little smokestacks there, even though, you know, they don't really put out smoke. Okay, and we'll talk about what happens there in a second. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to leave a little space next to it just so you can kind of draw what's going on there. So you've got that going on here, and then it goes from there down to my house. Now, you guys can draw your house as cool as you want to. I will draw mine very cool as well. It's kind of what my house looks like. I've got a roof here, just chilling. Front door. You know, it's my window right there. Some other windows here. You know, gotta make your house look cool. Oh, put a tree out here. Happy tree. Yeah. I'm not a very good artist, but there you go. There's my house. So it goes into my house, and I'm using it for all sorts of cool things. I'm using it to drink water. I'm using it to, you know, go to the bathroom, go take a shower, wash the dishes, do laundry, all sorts of cool stuff. Brush my teeth, all that cool stuff. Water my lawn right out here so I can get my tree nice and big looking. It's going to be pretty cool. So once I'm all done with it all, it is going to be going generally over to the wastewater treatment plant. It's going to have a little bit of a parking lot here. I'll put a car in there because it's, wow, I draw cars really badly. That looks like a mutant. That's a mutant in the parking lot. Just, you know, you can have mutants in your parking lot if you want to. That's fine. So yeah, we've got the wastewater treatment plant, and in there, what happens is we make the water safe. There are some treatment plants that actually go full cycle, which means that they get all the wastewater, whether it's just gray water or if it's black water, which means, you know, it's got some feces and other things in it, which means poop. So it's got all sorts of things in it that are not good sometimes, and they go through the entire process of making it safe to drink again, which sounds gross, and is actually why it's not super highly used out in the world today, mostly just because people think of it and they're like, oh, that's super gross, I'm not drinking that. But they do have some really cool processes in order to make it super safe. So none of our communities are that kind of thing, but we use the water for other things that are you know, just as safe, but very cool. Let's talk about it though. So it's going to apply to both this and to this. Make sure you're drawing along, because right after this, I'm going to ask you guys to see all your drawings just for a second. That's part of the requirement. We got to see your drawings. We're going to talk about your drawings. It's going to be awesome. We're not doing it live right now because I wanted to be in front of a whiteboard. So we're going to be live in a second, and I will talk to you. All right. So what you want to, and what happens here at both this plant and this plant, we'll talk about what happens after that in a minute. But what happens is first, we put it through a process known as, put a big screen right here. So you got a big screen. I hope you guys can see that well enough. So you got, it's like a screen that you'd have like on your door. You know, what that does is it like strains out things. What they're looking for right here is they're looking to get the big stuff out. So a lot of times it's actually on conveyor belts. And so it goes around and around. And so it picks it up and grabs the big trash, takes it out, puts it into a dumpster so it can go out to the landfill. And it keeps doing that over and over and over again. And you know, it's going to get sorted out. Right now, a lot of cities have got, they've got automatic separators, which is pretty dang cool. And that kind of gets the big stuff out. And actually, sometimes the really sophisticated systems will look for what kind of junk it is. Like sometimes, for some reason, people are throwing, you know, like firearms into wastewater. And so, you know, when that happens, the cops get called. And they have to put it in the evidence locker, and then they have to find out, hey, why is there a gun here in the sewer? That's super weird. And, you know, fun stuff like that. So that's the first process. We get the big stuff out. Now, this one doesn't exactly correlate if you have like a septic system or something like that. Generally, what happens if you've got a septic system, it's going to be a lot more simple. There's not going to be a big plant involved usually. So usually what happens, it can kind of vary where you're at, but you know, at the very simplest, you know, you're making sure that you got it chlorinated, you're checking your chlorine levels, you're sending that into the city, stuff like that. Sometimes they're going to use UV light, ultraviolet light. Cool thing about ultraviolet light, we're actually going to use it in the other process here, the big plant ones, but the cool thing about ultraviolet light is that it blasts all of these bacteria that are in the water, and it makes them dead. It just kills them, and so it doesn't make them go away. So they're still in the water, but they're dead. And so, like, if you were to drink it, you're not going to get hurt generally, just because they're completely inert. They don't really work anymore, and so they. That's one of the things that they like to have some septic system use is just they irradiate that stuff with UV light or chlorine, or they like to what is it called? I don't know. They use some oxidization-y type thing process. Basically, they shoot like electricity into water, and it breaks apart molecules, and they grab into other things and erode them. It's pretty cool. It's ozonification, ozone. They use ozone to do all that stuff, which is, I think, 3 oxygen molecules together. It's crazy. Anywho, so it's much simpler there. But generally, they don't have, like a well or something like that isn't going to have the big things you're looking for. This one right here is mostly going to be for your wastewater. All right, so the next step is going to be, in the wastewater treatment at least, and sometimes it will be inside your city. It depends on how much stuff is in there. But what they like to do is they like to put it into
one of 3 different types of things. We'll just talk about one of them right now. We're going to talk about the vortex system. Basically, what the next system is we've already got the real big stuff out. You know, we've got out, you know, the random junk. Somebody left their, you know, accidentally flushed their sunglasses, or, you know, criminal dumped their gun, or something happened, you know, and so that picks up the real big stuff. Now we're going to pick up the slightly less big stuff, and we're going to use a vortex. Yes, indeed. It sounds really cool because it is pretty cool. So what they do is they swirl the water up real fast. They got like a spinner in the water, and they make it go real fast. And the cool thing is, like, while it's spinning, it means that the like a lot of the heavy stuff that's in the water won't be able to stay in the water, just because it's not like connected to molecules super well. And so what it does is it falls out of the little water tornado that they've made, and it just kind of falls off to the side, and they've got machines that like scoop it up and take it on out. So very cool. So I've got a water tornado vortex, got that right there. Make sure you draw that but better. All right, and then next what they do is they like to put it in a stagnation pool. So stagnation pool is pretty cool. What they do is usually pretty circular, like kind of like a pot here, and they've got little turbines. I hope you guys can see this decent enough, but they got some turbine things in here on the top and on the bottom. What the turbine things do, they're just like big fans on the top and bottom, and what they do is they just kind of go around and real slowly, they kind of just make sure that nothing gets solid or anything like that on the top and the bottom, and they kind of scraping stuff off. And they've also got some mechanical things on the edge, on the ends, like outside of the bowl. They'll like scoop up that stuff and make sure it goes away. Cool thing is, like your solids, after a while, just kind of sitting there, because these fans are going super slow, like super slow. So after a while, it's just kind of chilling there. Like your solid stuff is just going to float down to the bottom, and your fats are going to go up to the top. And so that's going to be like one of your biggest ways to get rid of a lot of junk. So a lot of the big floaters or sinkers that have been there, those are going to go away. So yeah, let's draw. Yeah, so we've got that. So I hope you want to draw that. We've got, you know, got the junk down here, we got the junk up here, and then we get rid of all that crap. Literally, that's actually where the poop. Sometimes the poop goes out in this one. Sometimes it goes out in this one. But if all else fails, it goes out in this one. They got other steps in here. A lot of times, I'm just going to go over some of the basic ones they use. There's a lot of things that go into wastewater treatment. But the last one is going to be science. Yes, what we're going to do with the rest of this water, because usually by about this point, you know, most of the bacteria is out of the stuff by now. Like, I think I read something that said it was like 75 or 80% out. But generally, like in life, when you have like a 70 or 80% chance of drinking water that might make you sick, I would suggest you don't do that thing. You should probably not drink poop water if you have a chance not to do that. So that's why we have science. And so what the science does, we pull in some more science. And so one of the things they do is they like to put it through a bunch of different chemicals and bacteria. They usually do bacteria first. So, you know, they put it through a big long tunnel, the tunnel of bacteria doom. And they shoot it through here, and then they've got like a thing that shoots up some bacteria right here. And it's like, ah! The bacteria eats up some of the stuff, and they're like, okay, okay. And the water keeps going, it's like a different kind of bacteria. Ah! And then it eats up some more of the bacteria. And, you know, it gets more. Ah! And then all the bacteria thinks they're safe after they live through all that. And then we throw in one of the other 3 techniques I talked about before. Generally at the end, you know, we're going to throw in some chlorine, which is like super strong bleach, or we're going to throw in some ozonification, you know, electrify that water, or we're going to do the other 3rd thing that I can't remember that I talked about earlier. But we're going to do all 3 of those things, or one of the 3 of those things. Generally, you do one of the 3. It kind of depends on the situation, the flow rate, how much money they got, blah, blah, blah. But they use one of those things the very last to get rid of all the junk. You know, the cool thing is, like, you know, bleach. Bleach is, it kills stuff. Like, that's what it does. It kills germs in the tracks. Also, not good to drink because it will kill people. Also, you have lots of bacteria in yourself that are good for you, and you don't want them to die because you will die. So don't do that thing. So we've got, we've either got chlorine in there, or we've got, the UV lights that are making the stuff inert, anything you got left. All right, hopefully you guys aren't sleeping right now, because that was, it was a long video. Okay, so if you guys had a hard time seeing that, it'll show up in the recording, and if you guys need to watch that later, you guys can. What we're gonna do right now, if you were able to see stuff, and you guys were able to make a drawing along with it, if you guys could just like throw your drawing right up against the screen so I can see you did it. All right, good work, good work. Oh, wow, fancy drawing, okay, good writing. Dang, you guys have better drawings than me. Much better. All right, okay, beautiful, awesome. And for those of you who didn't just show me drawing, if you guys want to show me later, also cool. I'll show you guys my email. So if you guys want to like send me a picture of that, that's also cool. I know some people have a hard time watching the video, like it just didn't work or something like that. And so you can watch it online a little bit later. Okay. Everybody feeling good right now? Okay. Okay, I know we've been talking a lot. In fact, I know for myself, what I need to do really quick is after I've been talking for a while or watching a video for a while, I need to have a short dance party. So if you guys would like to watch, if you guys would like to join me, that's cool. It's only gonna be like 30 seconds. So here we go. Oh, what have I done doing? All right. Whew. Hopefully that woke you guys up. At the very least, maybe it just scarred you for life. I'm not sure. Whew. Okay. All right. So that's water for you guys. That's how we can conserve water. Whew. I'm out of shape. All right. So we're going to talk about the next cool thing, my friends. Mostly we're going to talk about, so today we're going to talk about the big things we got to do projects for and talk about those. And then next time we're going to talk about all the other stuff because I want you guys to get as much of a jump on all this stuff as you can. So, all right, here's what we got. So, next up is going to be a really cool subject that is near and dear to my heart. It's like right over here. So our next project is going to be about food. So it is crazy how much, we've got a lot of food in the world, but like I said earlier, we end up using a lot more than we make some days. Craziness. So over 65 billion with a B pounds of food is thrown away every year. Craziness. Generally, each family throws away about $2,200 worth of food every year. So it's definitely a problem. And part of the trick is that, air needs, stuff, especially like organic material, needs to have light and air to decompose. But when they're in a landfill, it doesn't really get that so much. And so decomposition inside the landfill takes a while. So a couple things we want to do with talking about food is that we want to make sure that, we're figuring out ways that we can, do little things to make a big impact. So I've been talking for a while, so I want to hear your guys' opinions. What kind of things do you guys think we can do to conserve waste on food?
Eat less snacks.
Yeah, eating less snacks. I always find that, and I don't know, I mean, I know you guys probably don't do much grocery shopping right now, but when you do, I would say when you're going out to shop, like don't go hungry, because I always end up buying more snacks or food that I need to. The high mage is correct on the chat. Eat when you absolutely have to. Eat your leftovers. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things that like happens when you're, eating dinner. Like sometimes you're just like, you grab way too much, and so then you just throw it out. But if you can keep like
Save leftovers.
yeah, leftovers is great. It means you're not going to be throwing away the food. Anybody else got any ideas on how you can do that? On how you can save on food waste? Well, I mean, don't eat is you cannot eat, but I feel like you probably should. For some reason, it's necessary for you to be alive to eat. It's a thing. Yeah, scheduling your food times is definitely a good thing. You want to make sure that you're not just eating throughout the day. It's making sure it also helps you be healthy. If you got your stuff scheduled, your body knows when to expect food. Definitely good. Anybody else got any ideas? Stop eating fast food. Yeah. There's a lot of waste that comes with fast food, and also not super good for you. You can see from me dancing and getting out of breath, I've eaten too much fast food. Okay, a couple other tips here for you. One of the things you can do is like, it doesn't have to be like a, right now kind of thing. Like you can kind of just like watch, like as you're eating dinner, it's like, okay, what do we throw away after dinner? And like, okay, maybe I just need to scoop a little bit less mashed potatoes this next time. Another cool thing you can do is when you're shopping, you can, like when you buy something new, you want to, and you already have something of that, you put the new thing in the back and the old thing in the front. So the thing that could go bad first, you're eating it first. So you're not wasting that. Yeah. All right. I forgot what the requirement for this is, so I need to tell you that. Okay. So what we're going to do for this one, this one's super easy. We are actually, distract yourself. I don't, oh, the schnack. Haha, I got it. I was like, what is snacks? Is that like a monster? It's true. The snacks will get you. Yes. So what you want to do with the food is you want to make sure that we are doing a project here. So, all right, so you want to track your food waste for 2 weeks. Just see how much food you throw away at the end of your meals for 2 weeks. Just write it down on a piece of paper and then let me know. That's it. There's no bills or anything involved, and it's only 2 weeks. It's not like the other one that's 3 months. It's only 2 weeks. All right?
Ooh, 2 weeks.
This one doesn't even involve you having to have a family meeting about it, but it could be good. Teamwork makes the dream work. So there we go. That's the third project we've got for you. I know there's a lot right now. So remember, we've got family meeting, and then we've got you track your energy for a month. So you check out your bills for for the past 3 months. You make a plan, you implement it for a month, and then you talk to me about it. And then this one, track it for 2 weeks. Let me know what you did. I was trying to sound like Sean Connery. I just don't do a very good accent. All right, so that is basically what we were talking about with food. And we got more food things. Actually, yeah, we'll talk about that. Okay, so while we're on the subject of food, because there's a little bit, food is a big thing, especially around the world. There are a bunch of different ways that people have figured out to try to, make their own food. Because it's a big deal. You want to try to leave as much. You don't want to waste. So some people have gardens. It's kind of tricky for some people in the city. If you're in an apartment, it's not really like you can have a garden out in your yard because you don't have a yard. So there are a bunch of different options that people have put together. First one, obviously, if you've got the space, having a garden and having like vegetables in it is pretty cool. I don't know who Crazy Dave is, but he sounds cool. Yeah, so one of the ways you can do is you can go with your Well, sorry, you can do a garden in your backyard. Another one is a communal garden. Some cities, they will ask you to have like a little bit of a, a monthly fee, but some people will just do it for free. I know that one of the towns I lived in, they had a community garden, and anybody who wanted to could just have a space. It's very cool. Like, you plant whatever you want. You just go make sure you water it and stuff like that. And sometimes what cities will do, if you're in like a big city, which none of us are in a really big city, like super big city, is they have like landscape stuff, and they have like food stuff planted in there. So it's pretty cool. It kind of makes a big impact on that kind of thing. So yeah. Okay. So talked a little bit about food, and kind of, what that could be. And like we've been saying, with all these things, little things become big things, little things you can do. And if everybody just does a little bit, we can go a long way to, making the world a better place. Okay. So food, we just track it. Yeah, just track it. So, really, you don't need to track very much. Just make a couple notes, just like, okay, well, we threw away some mashed potatoes today. We threw away some of this. Doesn't need to be super detailed. You're not like weighing like, we lost 2.3 pounds of mashed potatoes today and 10.3 pounds of carrots. Also, that's a lot of carrots. You guys shouldn't have made that many carrots. It's crazy. Okay. So nothing too crazy. And like I said, I'll give you guys my email. You guys can just email those over to me, or you can show me in the next time we meet. So yeah, it should be pretty good. All right. So next up, we're going to talk about one of the other big projects we've got to do. And I like this one because this one gets us moving a little bit more, because I like to make it get us a little bit more. The sad thing is when we're in person, when I teach this like a camp or like Mariveg College, like I like to bother other classes with this one because it's fun. Okay, so obviously energy. Energy is a thing. Energy conservation. I know that I waste a lot of energy. I wonder if I've got, actually, just a second, guys. I'm sorry. I wasn't planning on showing this video, but I think I'm going to show you guys this video because I like it. I'll talk while I'm looking this up here. So we've got another project here, and it sounds like we've got a ton of projects, but we don't have that many projects. I'm just trying to throw them all out as early as I can so you guys can start working on them. Like I said, next time we're not really going to be throwing out any new projects. We've just got a couple today, and I want to go over them so you guys can start working on that stuff. So energy, what we want to do is you guys are going to get together with your family, and you're going to develop and implement a plan to reduce consumption for one of your utilities. So same thing, you just look at your bills for the past 3 months, and then you guys, pick 3 ways to reduce that stuff, and then you do it for a month, and then you look at your bill and you're like, wow, look how much change there was. And then we talk about it. So that's what it is. Does anybody have any questions about what that is? It's just 1 month that you're doing it, but you got to look at 3 months of bills. So it's the same thing as water. You look at the last 3 months of bills if you have them, just to kind of see, where you guys have been at. And then you do 1 month, and then you look at the bill again. Okay. So water and energy. All right. So real quick here, guys. Sorry, I don't mean to detour, but we're going to pull this up. Sustainability. So this is another video that comes to us straight
from, you guys and gals out there.
From Winnipeg.
Hey, all you guys and gals out there. It's Ben here with another conservation trick. And we're going to talk about some energy conservation. So it's night here and we got some lights on because, we're doing stuff and all that. So I don't know. I hope we can conserve enough electricity for, enough time for everything. I'm not sure what they're doing in there. All I know is that Winter, I think he wanted to play some games. What I said was, okay, it got really dark. What happened in here, huh? Winter, what happened? The lights went out. What happened?
Oh, I don't know.
What are you doing?
I'm just
You got like.
Been watching some memes. Gonna watch some stream stuff.
But you have like 30 things plugged in here.
Yeah, bro. What's up, picture?
You're using all our power.
Oh no, dude. I'm just gonna play some Smash.
But.
Dude, you wanna play?
No. We need this power.
Oh, dude, it sucks with the power on out though, right?
Yeah. Why is your stuff still on?
Huh?
Why is your stuff still on? You're still using power?
Well, I need all the power because, like, so I'm playing Smash right now, and then, like, what if I get bored of Smash, and then, like, watch the memes? Then if I'm, like, get bored of that, then, like, I'm thinking watch The Mandalorian. I don't know. I got another game loaded up on this Switch as well, so, like, I might do that. So then I also, like, if I'm not feeling that, I can scroll the Facebooks, and then sometimes I just take pictures, and I'm like...
But that's a lot of stuff.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
That's a lot of cords. You don't think you want to turn them off?
No. Is that important?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, first, I'm sorry.
Like that's why the power went out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. That's it? You're just not gonna turn it off?
Fine. I guess we'll...
All right.
Whatever.
Trying to save some energy here.
I can't hear you.
Okay, well, I guess you guys don't want to turn out like this guy, but conserve your energy.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it kind of does look like a YouTuber vlogging. So there you go. The misadventures of Winner and Ben from camp. They're both pretty cool dudes. I don't know if you guys have ever met them, but they're cool. So I just like to show that with energy because it's fun. All right, so we're going to talk about energy. And rather than have me talking, what do you guys think you guys can do at home to conserve on energy?
Don't forget to turn off the lights.
Yeah, don't forget to turn off the lights. Definitely a big one.
Watch less TV.
Yeah, definitely watch less TV. Could be a good one. Anybody else got something? Anything at all? Remember, you got to pick 3 things and then implement them for a month. Justin, you got anything? Any ideas on what you could do? Okay, fair enough. Okay, well, don't worry then. I will give you the answers. Okay, so here's a couple things you guys can do to make it all easier for you. So remember, like you just said, turn your stuff off when you're done with it. Easy enough. And then, you know, in the winter, you can use just a little less heating. So it doesn't need to be like, you're living in the Amazon, just a little less hot. In the summer, maybe just a little less cool. So you're not like in the Arctic. That saves a ton of energy. Another way that you can kind of lessen your carbon footprint, if you buy local food, that means that somebody didn't have to like drive in, like use the energy to bring it to you. Bottled water's like pretty cool, but at the same time, it also wastes a lot of things. I don't know why I mentioned that, but so yeah, unplugging things when you're out driving, kind of trying to combine stuff together, like combining errands, can save a little bit of gas. Granted, we're not talking about that. We're talking about like electricity and other bills like that. Mostly just remember, reduce, reuse, recycle. I will leave it mostly up to you guys on, what kind of steps you guys can take. Remember, just meet with your family, come up with 3 ways. 3 ways you guys can use to save some things. Hey, Mason, how's it going? Welcome to the party, my friend. So if we've got this whole video recorded, so glad to have you. You can get caught up. Oh, okay. 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 Oof. It's okay. It's Ryder. Okay. Sorry, man. I was very confused for a minute. Okay. All right. So, fair enough. Okay. So what we're going to do next is going to be awesome. So we're going to talk about different types of energy. This doesn't relate to what we were just talking about, but it kind of does. So there are a bunch of different types of energy here in the world. And I get bored sometimes. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up with an action for each of them and put them together into a sweet, sweet dance move. So I like doing it at least. So if you guys want to join, it's very cool. So we'll talk about the thing, and then I'll let you guys come up with whatever dance move it is for this particular action. So the first thing we're going to talk about is fossil fuels. So fossil fuels are a lot of different things. It's gas, it's coal, it's natural gas. And so basically the cool thing is it comes from fossils. I mean, fossil fuels, that's what it's called that. So it's, dead plants or other things like that, but, either compressed together or, nature's done stuff to them to turn them into what they are. So they've got some upsides and downsides, and I'm going to try to talk about upsides and downsides with both of them. Cool thing about both of them, about fossil fuels is they give you a real good bang for your buck. So, it's going to give you a lot of energy for not as much. And that's the nice thing about it. The trick, and you guys have heard about this in school a lot, I'm sure, is, it releases carbon dioxide, which will mess with the ozone of the world, which, contributes to making things a little hotter. So one of the downsides with fossil fuel. But like I said, gives you a pretty good bang for your buck. So, all right. I'll come up with the first action, and then you guys can come up with the rest of them. Because this is a fossil fuel, and just to help me remember, we'll do dinosaur. So this is the first action. So if you guys could do it with me really quick, we'll just say it. We'll say fossil fuel and do the dinosaur. So fossil fuel. All right, one more time. Fossil fuel. Okay, there we go. So that's the first one, and we'll just add on fossil fuel to all the other ones we say because it's cool. Okay, so after that, we've got solar is another different type of energy. And basically, I think it's really cool. It's radiation from the sun. And we take the radiation from the sun and we turn it into energy that we can use. Okay, so cool things about that is that the cool thing is wow, words, sorry guys. So it doesn't really have a carbon footprint. It's just there. It doesn't release anything into the air. The downside with solar is that you're gonna have an upfront cost to get started on solar. So it's gonna take a little bit more money to get started on it, and then it takes up some space. So that's kind of the downsides with it. All right, does anybody have a action/dance move that we could do for solar energy? All right, actually you guys just did the same thing. So we'll do fossil fuel, and then we'll do solar. So remember, solar is this. Okay, so High Mage did it first, so we'll go with his. So here we go. So everybody, fossil fuel. And then we go solar. Excellent, excellent. All right, the next kind of energy we're going to talk about is nuclear. So nuclear is pretty cool. Basically what it does is you're splitting up uranium atoms, you're splitting the nucleuses of those atoms, and basically that turns into heat, like a ton of heat. And they use that heat for steam, which turns a turbine real quick, and it makes energy. So very cool. And the cool thing about nuclear power is that it has no carbon footprint. Downsides is that you guys have probably heard about some of the, the really big incidents they've had. If things go bad, they can be very dangerous. If, safety regulations aren't kept or things like that, it can be really bad. I mean, they've got Chernobyl over in Russia, and they still can't go over there. And that was like 20 or 30 years ago that they had the accident out there. And so that's the trick with that. Also, really cool thing with, another hard part about radiation stuff is really just that it's hard to get rid of too. It comes out with waste, and so you have to find out what to do with it, which comes to the cool part. In about half an hour, we're going to have a tour of a local thing. So actually over by Carlsbad, we've got a really cool underground cave system that we use to store radioactive waste. Super cool. And so we got somebody today that is going to take us on a tour. So we're going to finish up here in a couple minutes. If you guys want to join in on that call, it's very cool. All right. Somebody give us a dance move for nuclear. Okay, we're gonna do both. Oh, okay. We're gonna do all three of those. Okay, so here we go. So we've got Nikolai's. We've got, and then we've got. Okay, it's a very complicated move. So everybody do it with me. So we got. All right, so let's do them all together. So we got fossil fuels, and we got solar, and then we've got nuclear. Okay, now let's talk about the next type. Next one is wind energy. Basically, what happens with wind energy is we grab the power of the wind, which, you know, there's a lot of wind here, so that happens. You know, you'll probably end up seeing some wind turbines as you're driving around. Cool thing is you can have them in a variety of places. It's renewable energy because the wind just happens. You know, it's not like we're going to use up all the wind. And also, it's just cool because it doesn't give a carbon footprint. But the downside with wind is that wind power is it's just going to it's noisy, and it's, you know, some people don't like how it looks. So that's something you're going to be watching out for. And also, to get started on it, it can be a little more costly. But at the same time, wind doesn't ever run out. So it's very cool. All right. So who wants to give us a dance move for wind power? Okay, I like that one. We're going to do that one. So this is wind power. All right. So, oh, wow. See, I'm not sure, Nikolai, if I'm actually good enough for that dance move. Okay. So here we go. Let's do fossil fuel really quick. Fossil fuel. And then we've got solar. And then we've got nuclear. And then we've got wind. Awesome. You guys are good dancers. Much better than me. All right. The next one is called hydropower. So in this kind of power, what we do is we harness the power of water. It's very cool because it's very like renewable because water, it's there, you know, it's pretty cool. So what they do is, you know, when they have dams and rivers, what they'll do is they'll stop that off and they'll put like, you know, just kind of force it through a little, they'll just force it through, and they'll have like a generator in here. It'll turn a turbine real quick and it creates energy. Very cool, very renewable. So exactly, the water on your chart. All right, who wants to give us a dance move for water power? Okay, I liked it. We're turning the turbine. Okay, yeah. Oh, you have to have the water first. Yeah, so we got the water. Turbine! Okay, so let's do them all from the first. So we're going to start with fossil fuel. And then we've got solar energy. And then we've got nuclear. All right, and then we've got wind. And then we have hydropower. All right, we're nearing, okay. Oh man, here's one of my next favorite ones. We are going to talk about geothermal energy. So what geothermal energy is, I mentioned it before, is basically what we do is we grab heat from the earth. So sometimes the earth just brings out heat and we make energy out of it. It's very cool. All right, so can anybody give me a dance move for? Okay, that's our dance move for geothermal. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna do them all. Here we go. Fossil fuel, oh, solar, nuclear, wind, hydroelectric, and then geothermal. Excellent, excellent. All right, so we've got one more left. And so this is called bioenergy. Bioenergy is very cool. Basically, it comes from plants. So a lot of times when they are harvesting plants or you know, stuff like that, a lot of times it comes up with additional things that you can use to actually make little bits of power. Also, scientists are coming up with some cool ways to make energy with plants. So that's our last one. Does anybody have a action for leaf power? Oh, okay. Here we go. That's our action. All right, we'll do them all one more time. Fossil fuel. And then we've got solar energy. And then we've got nuclear energy. Wind. Hydroelectric. Oh, I forgot the last part. Geothermal. And then the last one. Oh yeah. Bioenergy. Excellent. You guys are great dancers. That was really good. All right. You know, Nikolai, you're right. I didn't think about the fact that we might be summoning ancient monsters with these dances. My bad. If you guys have any problems fighting said monsters, let me know, and I'll drive over there and we'll help fight them. All right. So let me make sure I've got all our projects done here because I want to give you guys some time if you guys want to go over to the virtual tour thing. Okay. We'll do that one next time. Okay, let's talk about stuff. So, I know I am a great purveyor of stuff. I like stuff. Stuff's cool. Oh crap, fossil fuel monster. Sorry, Ryder, hope you don't die. That'd be awkward. We'll come save you if we need to. All right, so what you need to do for this, this last project, so this is the last of the projects we've got for you. Actually, I lied. There's one more after this. I'll talk about it. So I'll go over them all in a second too. But the stuff log. So basically what it is you need to keep a log of the stuff your family purchases for 2 weeks. And then when you have the list of the stuff, you categorize it as a need or a want. And that's it. So just by the list of stuff you get, you know, is it a need, is it a want? When we get back together, we'll talk like, all right, well, that's pretty crazy. You know, how much stuff that we buy that we need that we don't want or vice versa. Cool stuff like that. So remember, 2 weeks, track your stuff. Okay, really quick, I want to go over all of the projects one more time. I will send you an email with the list of everything just so you can remember it all. Remember, the first one is have a family meeting, and you can incorporate with all this rest of the stuff. Talk about what sustainability is. Second one is water. You want to look at the last 3 months of your water bill and come up with 3 different ways that you can lessen your water bill. Do it for a month, look at your bill again, and blammo, we'll talk about it. The next one is energy. You do the exact same thing with your energy bill. You look at the last 3 months, you make a plan, you do the plan, you see how it affected your bill. Let's see, make sure I've got everything here. We've got water. Oh, food. Track food waste for 2 weeks. Write it down, show it to me. We'll talk about it. And then a stuff log, like I said, track your stuff buying for 2 weeks, if it's a need or a want. All right. And then the last one is after we have done all the merit badges. So after we're done with tomorrow's thing, meet with your family and then talk about sustainability with them again. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that next time, but that's basically what we've got going on. We've got some other cool stuff going on tomorrow. Next time, we're going to be meeting again on the 3rd of October. Hi, Mage, it looks like you have a question. Oh, tour, dude. Okay, I will. I'll put a link to the tour in the chat here in just a second, so you guys can get to it. It is going to be super cool. Yeah, it's got a little bit of video, but we've got somebody who works there, and like he's going to give us the lowdown on it. It's very cool. Oh, dude, Nikolai, I'm glad you found a cool video on that. I got to say, this stuff is awesome. Like, I got very excited doing some research for this, like especially like the wastewater treatment stuff. I got way too excited about poop treatment. It's very cool stuff. Yes, sir. What do you got? I can't hear you. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I still can't hear you. If you could type it in, that would help. Before I forget while he's typing, I'm gonna grab the link here. Okay, so we're going to meet on October 3rd, 2 weeks from now, 9 a.m. Same meeting room, and I'll send you guys the link again. So yeah, just start working on those things. You guys can get the stuff and the food stuff done. If you want to pass it off next time, that's great. If you forget about it, that's cool too. That's all right. We'll work it out some other time. I'm available. We can get another adult on the call, and we can work it out. You know, we can get all this stuff passed off for you. Hi, Mage, if you already did it, that's great. Yeah, just if you could send us a note, somebody saying you did that, that'd be great. Can you screen share? Yeah, you can screen share the video. Just a second. Let me grab one more thing just before we, what the, sorry. Okay. So, okay, I've got, if you guys want to do the whip tour in about 20 minutes, that's the link you go to. Just going to be a Zoom meeting like this. All right. So, yeah, we will screen share the video. Well, you know, I'm just going to let you guys watch that video on your own. If you guys want to watch the one that Nikolai just posted just a second ago. Because I've got to close down real quick. I'm sure it's very cool because Nikolai's a cool dude. Yeah, hope you guys had a good time. If you guys have any questions, I will, here, let me type my, oh, dang it. I just did that to one person. I'm sorry. Everybody in the meeting. Here, that's the link to the Zoom meeting. And if anybody needs to get a hold of me, I have any questions or anything, my email. And parents need to get a hold of me. Here is my office email. I mean, my number. So, yep, if you guys need any of that, let me know. Or you guys can just call the Scout office in Roswell because I work there during the week. So, hope you guys had fun. You know, it's kind of it's a very content-heavy merit badge, but I enjoyed spending some time with you guys. So, anybody have any questions or anything before we leave? Comments, concerns, anything? No? Okay. Well, cool. Well, they're going to build statues of you guys all someday. I'm sure you guys will be very famous, and I will be sad I didn't get your autograph. So I will see you guys all later.